Welcome to Module 3. I'm sorry about the late posting of this. I finally think I can talk for a while without coughing my head off. So, Module 3 is entitled DC and the Digital Tattoo. Your digital tattoo is your presence on the web, what people see about you. Let's watch this short little video.
If we were to look you up online, what would we learn about you?
Like in Facebook or?
Any sort of online things.
I don't know. Because that an answer?
Let's not look me up. Let's not look me up. Let's not. Backspace.
I don't think a lot. I mean, like I've made my Facebook, most of it it's like private and stuff.
Well, you'll find pictures, lots of pictures, over 2,000 pictures actually.
You'd probably find out my email address and nothing more.
I try not to let myself be like that easy to find.
And videos, because I sing. I post it on YouTube as well.
You probably learn a lot about type of activities that I like to do via my Facebook pictures and so on.
I don't think you can find my Facebook. I've set my privacy settings so that you can't do that.
And my Facebook account, that's for sure.
That I like to make my cover photo funny pictures of my friends.
You'll find out that I love traveling. I like scuba diving. I like a lot of adrenaline stuff.
You might see that like stuff like I was in the Sun Run or some like small organizations like that.
And maybe a blog.
It's my Facebook. Then you'd learn about what music I like, the books, the movies, television, athletes, what sports I do.
I'm a photographer with the UBC student newspaper. I do my own freelance stuff, so I think a lot of that shows up when you Google my name.
You would learn that I'm a proud Egyptian and I like to raise awareness about slavery in Egypt.
You would learn about my job, which is as a research assistant at the Vaccine Evaluation Center.
I don't tend to put a lot of stuff online, so it's probably my LinkedIn account. So probably my educational background, work experience.
You probably find like a LinkedIn profile or Facebook. I think that's probably the two things that's going to pop up. But it just wouldn't be me. It would be some other person with the same name.
Yeah, I think you'd probably find like just basic stuff like my email. Maybe you get a link to my Facebook page, that kind of thing. Probably my footprint is bigger than I think, though.
So this is what we hear a lot of people say, is that their footprint is probably bigger than what they think. It's fascinating when you start looking at it. In this world that we live in, we have to realize that our footprint, our digital tattoo, is out there and it's very hard to remove. So think a moment about where you create, contribute to, and consume online. I know that I have multiple wiki spaces. I have multiple YouTube channels, but they all reflect a professional focus. My private, personal exposure is very, very limited. Now, everybody in the world, it seems, has a Facebook page. But one of the things that you must realize about Facebook is when you link to other friends on your Facebook page, their postings can come through on your Facebook, which can sometimes be inappropriate. Also remember, Facebook is searched rather diligently by any employer these days. So 55%, more than half, of your age range has a personal profile on a social networking site. 35% have posted things on social networking pages that they might regret. 1/3 of you still haven't got your privacy settings right on Facebook. And we know that if Facebook were a country, it'd be the third largest in the world. And as of 2010, 80% of young adults have smartphones. And 15% have reported that they've had things forwarded without their permission. You see that a lot. I'm surprised that number is as low as it is. We think we're pretty tech savvy when it comes to using our phones, but what we have to realize is that our phones and our social media sites don't really have a focus on keeping you private. The more they can share you, the more they can make money. Here's the classic one, the poor teacher that was seen drinking at a party, and she was fired because this picture was posted on her Facebook page. We've all seen it. So, as you can see from this timeline, in 2006 she was called into question. She was denied a teaching degree. In 2008 she sued. The judge rejected her claim. In 2010, it's still out there. How do you deal with this? I think one of the first things you want to do is you want to be very, very, very careful about what you do online. We can't forgive and forget anymore. When things get posted, they live on. What we have to do is we can either take down sites, we can go in and post on the site a mea culpa or a post that basically says, here's what really happened, and I'm sorry if it has offended anyone. You see people who have social media sites that have very high profiles doing this all the time. Look at this example. So here we see he has a blog for his 8th grade math students. He uses a variety of freely available online platforms for students to create and publish. Class accounts are used and students' blogs are private. So my question, Mr. H, would be, how does he know that they're private? How does he monitor what goes on in the various blogs that his students are on? And I would ask his students, so what are you writing about? Has someone ever posted anything in a blog that has been hurtful or injurious to you? As you can see here, the Toronto District School Board is developing social media guidelines. The Vancouver Board has decided that friending and personal email is unacceptable. Most school districts now do not allow for personal email accounts like Gmail. Even though there are plenty of school districts that have embraced the Google Docs. So as you can see, the problem here is things really have a tendency to blur. And as I told you last week, when we were looking at the digital citizenships, one of the things that I brought up to you was a Facebook page that a principal had started where a student had gone on the page and said something the principal was wanting to do in the school was stupid, and that got the student suspended. The parent sued, and the principal had a reprimand written and placed in their professional folder. This is a very tricky area. And so we have to keep thinking about our personal lives and our professional lives. And unfortunately, more and more, the line between the two are becoming blurred. And we have to think about how to protect ourselves in having your private life and your professional life. If you want to have a professional life online, I would strongly suggest a LinkedIn account. Lots of folks have them. If you want to have a personal site, having something like Facebook is fine as long as you turn on the protections, as long as you're very diligent about who you friend and what material they are sending through your site. As you can see here, there are resources out there for you. The Teacher's Guide to Using Facebook is an excellent one, and it's here in your module if you want to look at it. You know, the thing about all this is that we really haven't changed all that much. The problem is the exposure is just so much greater. You, when you were a child, when you were a teenager, probably did dumb things. I did. And we were always looking for groups to join, but we weren't doing it online. And we can use the groups that we join as a way of defining who we are. The problem is now is that those experimentations can be permanent. Those associations can be permanent, and we need to know that. Anytime you go online, you own a piece of the web. Your wiki is a piece of the web. And we have to realize that whenever we are out there, we are no longer talking to just family or friends. We're talking to a vast audience. That audience can be invisible and anonymous. Your content can be replicated across the world. We really have to understand the power of collaboration and networking. And we have to use that power for the good. So part of what we're going to do with this is I'm going to ask you to go in and use the tools down here to start a search about yourself. As you can see, you can use Pipple to Google yourself. The Personas project, this one isn't working very well right now, but when it does work, it's quite amazing. Spokeo has decided to make money, and so when you put your name into Spokeo, you get limited response, and everything else it wants you to pay for it. What I want you to do in Zaba Search and PQ, what I want you to do is to do this in various ways. In other words, put in your real name, but then also put in the various usernames and or emails that you have, so that you can see how the world views you from those different perspectives. When I put in my name, which I normally use, which is Steve Swan, I get one perspective. If I put in my professional name, Stephen B. Swan, I get a whole different perspective. And when I put in my different email accounts, like the one I have here at the university and the one that I use as a Gmail, I get totally different perspectives. And so what we're asking you to do is to think about what that perspectives say about you. What we're trying to get you to do here is to look at your digital tattoo, how people see you out there on the web. And here in the module, what we're asking you to do is to make another one of those word clouds. Steve kind of likes those word clouds. And type in 8 things that you have found about yourself when you've gone out and done this sort of presence, online presence. What have you found out about yourself? Put those into a word cloud. And then use this website to go and look at the stories about what has happened to people. Sorry about that. I'll make that so it opens. Read about the social networking nightmares. Of course, there's our poor girl again with the pirate hat. We're asking you to give us a simple paragraph in your wiki, a new page entitled Module 3, The Digital Tattoo, where you describe to us what you have found out about who you are and your reflections on the information we found from the Social Networking Nightmares site. All we're asking is a simple single paragraph of 3 to 5 well-written sentences and the word cloud in your wiki. Remember how to do a word cloud? Basically, go to the site, you're going to type in the 8 words, you're going to create the word cloud, download it as a file, and then upload it into your wiki. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Also, be aware that Class 5, which is February 16th, next Monday, is a free day for you to complete work on any of the modules from 1 to 3 and to get your URLs uploaded into LiveText. I will be here, and if you have any questions about any of the modules up to this point, feel free to drop me a line.